Hello everyone and welcome back for another episode of Diablo 3. We are carrying on with our rifting. We have a lot of rifting to do because we don't have many legendary gems. This is going to be the bread and butter for probably the next few episodes. We're running at Torment 10. So let's just hop on in and see how it goes. Now we've managed to get ourselves set up so that we've got 4 different damage types in the spells. We double checked exactly how Tal's set is supposed to work, and we're making the best use of it that we can at the moment. Bearing in mind we don't want to be using it long term, but it's fine for now. And bear in mind that this set is supposed to be based around boosting up your meteor skill. So we're really doing it in a sideways fashion. We're focusing on disintegrate and, well, energy twisters. I forgot to check, see what the twisted sword does. Get some fire going in on these guys. There we go. I mean, once we're in a rhythm with this, it really does feel like it works well. But we're also quite fragile at times. We are reliant on the damage reduction from Aquila Cuirass, so if we're casting a lot of different spells around, that can very quickly disappear. And then we get ourselves hit, and then we get death triggered, and then the panic, and then we run away, and it all goes horribly wrong. So, best for us to not do any of those things. Someone was immune to damage under there. Damn shielding things. Now the speed pylon is a blessing and a curse at the same time. Makes it harder for us to manage our resources, but makes it a lot easier for us to move around. Does this go on this way? It does. Where? Is there an actual destination down here, or is it all just part of a big ploy? Jury is out. Well, it does appear to be going somewhere. Yeah, cool. An actual destination. Let's kill that guy just in case we need to come back this way. Ooh, that was very painful. Shield pylon. If I'd looked at that first of all, we would have just gone for it, but I wanted to clear the area before taking stock of what it was. I need to get better at glancing up at the minimap. Okay, with the shield pylon, we want to really just move through stuff and obliterate as much as we can. Oh, this is just perfect. Okay, just a little bit more. And we'll have the Rift Guardian. We might be able to still have the shield pylon. Let's just run out, but that's okay. That was a little bit painful, but not too bad. I probably could have face tanked him for the entire time there. Amulet Sword, Goggle of Swiftness. Not for this build, but I do like that. It's one of my favourite. Hey, look, is that the Twisted Sword? Well, let's find out what it does. Oh, that is really, really tempting. It's a one-handed weapon, so that's why it would be so tempting. I mean, we're not pushing for an energy twister based thing, but energy twister is increased by 128% for each energy twister you have, up to a maximum of 5. So it can be multiplied by 6 times, so 6 times the damage going out. We don't need the Raging Storm mod on it, so hypothetically, if we did Wicked Wind, it would appear exactly where the mouse is, and it would just keep stacking and stacking and stacking on top of it. Which could be a really, really good thing. Okay, let's just test this. We are definitely noticing our arcane power going because we're not getting that resource cost reduction. We could re-roll attack speed 7% into resource cost reduction. That would help. We could also change that across for resource cost reduction. Okay, we've got a little bit of tweaking to do. A little bit of tweaking to do. I think this could work for us. It's really not what I was expecting to be doing. Okay, so we're hoping for resource cost reduction at the moment. I'll take Vitality for now because it's slowing down our attack speed. Resource cost reduction 9%, that's fine. The other thing I wanted to do was go to Shen and sort out our gems. Yeah, let's also hand this in with Oric. Okay, so combining gems, let's have a look. Obviously we're going to have the biggest emerald we can get in this thing. Yeah, life per hit's not really interesting. Thorns damage, I don't think I've ever done a Thorns build. Flat damage, no. Always going to be that critical hit damage increase. Okay, that's going to reduce resource costs by 11.5%. That's manageable. 3 seconds before Aquila Cuirass dropped out. Yeah. Yeah, we can work with that. Let's go for diamonds again. So I get up to 6 of those. We've actually got 8 of them. So if I take 3, there's still going to be enough. Yeah, there's 5 left. It wouldn't quite be enough, but it'd be fine. Because I'm thinking to try and keep our equipment as maxed out as possible. We can socket that in just temporarily. It'll help. All right, let's have a look and see what we've actually got, and we'll put our points in. A little bit of distraction right at the start as we go in a completely sideways direction. So we got the Witching Hour, yeah, and Halcyon's Descent, yeah. Halcyon's Descent's coming across. Snorlax's Madness, as amusing as it was, it has been replaced with the Twisted Sword, which is something I never thought I would go ahead and run a build with. But you know, you play with what the game gives you. Goggle of Swiftness comes down here because it's one that has a certain number of ranks, so we don't want to accidentally start boosting it up. This comes across, this comes across, this comes across, and the rest is all going to get salvaged up. But before we do that, Kadala. Rings and no things. Rings and no things. We are out of Great Rift Keystones, so we're going to do a regular Rift next. This is going to be really weird. Like, really weird.
Are you strong enough to survive the trials?
So in the end, it will work out to be really quite cool. Look at his health going down. That's surprisingly effective. Okay, it's jankier, but we can make it work. If only they could seek out enemies as well. That would be perfect. But you know, you can't have everything. Now, eventually we would change this across for the fire one because that's exactly what we're supposed to do. Which means we wouldn't need to have Blizzard. We could change that for something else, but this is when we get more of the Firebird set. It was an insufferable miscreant. I didn't even look at what type it was. I was just like, oh, there's a gobbo. Let's obliterate him before he moves. Yeah, it's pretty damn effective. And I don't feel like we're spending too many resources, which was my big concern. Otherwise, we may as well just not be using Aquila Cuirass. You know, we'll get some other defensive item instead, or swap it over for an offensive item. The resource cost reduction that we've got is across the board. It's not just for Disintegrate, which is really handy, because everything we do takes a lot of resources. I'm liking the speed they're going down at. I really am. I just wish it was also pulling them in. That would be so... Or, yeah, either it following them or them getting pulled in by it. Either of those would be fine. Okay, screen is... I wouldn't have thought it possible, but the screen's actually busier than it was when I said the screen was really busy just before. I will have a look at that one with great curiosity. Ah, it's the lightning-based one. It's not the Serpent Striker, because that's the Hydra-based one. I've forgotten the name. There was one season when I really wanted it, and that's the only time when I've given even the slightest inkling of caring about it. Yeah, if I can just spawn them over there with you guys, I will do that before I go through, because that's some nasty explosions that were going on over here. The other thing is, playing like this, it doesn't feel as formulaic as some of the other builds, because it's not just push one button, win. It's not like a Whirlwind Barbarian or Leap Quake or anything like that. There's specific playing tactics in order to make sure that the right things are in the right place. So this does, by nature of the items, make the game more interesting. I had a go at the new Magic the Gathering ARPG, for want of a better way of calling it. And the mechanics were very interesting, but the game itself just wasn't, which is a real shame. Let's step out of that just for a moment. Yeah, look at his health shooting down. That is insane. Ooh, shield. Sorry, but I'm deciding what I'm taking back with me. Okay, so the dagger we definitely want to take. Probably don't care about that. No, I do, because of the various items. Okay, let's head on back. We'll ID our stuff. We'll give the shield to Cormac, of course. We are almost at a decent movement speed. Starfire, that was it. Lightning damage is increased by 13% for every 10 yards you are from the target. It's not a particularly good one. I mean, it's not a particularly good weapon in itself anyway, but it does affect all lightning damage, so it can quickly ramp up like 60%. And I believe that one is multiplicative because it's lightning damage rather than skill damage. So yeah, it's not terrible. Right. You get this until we can get you something better. Have that in it. He's got a decent amount of strength, actually. Icon's Ball of Hate. Another fun one. Big Sticker. So Pig Sticker we may as well just salvage up. Starfire goes in there. Icon's Ball of Hate goes in there. Everything else is going to get salvaged. Pig Sticker's got the potential to be really, really awesome, but the hassle to get a decent one and the situationality of when it's going to be good for you.
That is too expensive.
Ooh, a different Halo of Carini. So it's got worse intelligence. It's got worse other roles, and it's got no experience from monster kills, and it's got less damage reduction. So that is one for us to potentially re-roll. It can come over in here. So much for our lovely Firebird build, that's what I say. Now, I know I am focusing on rings at the moment with Kadala, and yeah, it's always going to be a little bit janky doing that. But you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, we can't afford to empower it. Let's just do a GR10. Remember, this is for the legendary gems. We're definitely getting enough of those energy twisters out that the Twisted Sword is doing its thing. Everything dead? Yes, it is. Oh, and a power pylon. Alright, let's clear the area. And get some twisters in place, set a trap, you know, as you do.
Still waiting.
Wow, that was painful. So, that triggered one of our cheat deaths. We do have another two, so I'm just going to push on. But that was just because they were right on top of us and we didn't have our damage reduction. I do like that Cormac's one goes off first. Yeah, in a situation where there's potentially a lot of things happening, the symbols that I worry about would be the Firebirds one appearing and the Unstable Anomaly. And I know those symbols. So if I see them, I know that something's seriously wrong. Okay, nothing else in that bit. Ooh, look at all this. Hello, guys. Get that fire on you as well. really crank it up. Ooh, okay, so this is exactly the time that I was talking about. We've still got one more death, and our first one is about to come back. So we can push on. This is going to become the episode of the cheat deaths if I'm not careful. Now, I say we can push on because we've got 2 left right at the moment. Unstable Anomaly and Guardian from Cormac. And if things are hitting hard, we can't constantly hide from them. It's just not something that's going to work. All we can do is just play carefully and, you know, try and make sure we don't do anything foolish. Our cheat death is already back, so... Wow, they hit us with an arcane jailer straight after we teleported away. And also poison everywhere. Ugh. It feels kind of icky. I don't want to walk through it. That's how it feels. This entire rift is actually feeling a bit more deadly than previous ones. I know it's always pot luck, but if I'd found this like when I started doing Torment 10, I would have been like, nope, nope, Torment 10, bad idea. So I'm glad it's not indicative. That's what I mean. We are a glass cannon, we're just a glass cannon with reinforced sides. Yeah, we can take a few cracks. Don't worry, it'll buff out. Let's just move through the poison quite quickly. Ooh, this might have been a mistake. No, thank you. Killed him fast enough. It wasn't a problem. But I would very much like to get some more damage reduction. Okay, so Bane of the Trapped. We're now going to switch across to that.
I am returning to town. The light grows stronger within you.
Tacit's of the waste. Just after I was talking about doing stomp, 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 stomp. Yeah, Leoric's Crown. That doesn't emanate. Interesting. In terms of Tal's stuff, we've got 6 pieces, so we could take this off. We could put that on. And we could put the gem in it. Temporarily. To give us that extra damage reduction more. That one's the Orc Signet. No, no, we're gonna lose a bit of damage output doing that, and also we'll lose the flexibility to just swap to a piece of Firebirds when we get it. So I think we'll keep as we are for now. Okay, that took us 8 minutes 14 seconds, so we've got time to do another one. Do we have Greater of Keystone? Yes, we do. Okay, well, let's just hop in. Yeah. And then we'll do Gambling with Kadala right at the end when she can disappoint us in one big go. Rather than piecemeal as we are accustomed to. Ah, there you are. Ooh, no, thank you. Let's get you killed before you start doing anything nasty at me. And there's a lot of nasties going off around. I'm going to regret not having that extra damage reduction more frequently, aren't I? Nah, we're fine. We'll be fine once we leave this terrible tile set. And this is not the way on. Alright, let's clear those mobs out of the way. And we'll see if it's down here. Nope, definitely not. Back we go. Teleport, teleport. Okay. Maybe it's up this way then. Well, this is looking a bit more promising. It's also looking a bit more dangerous. There's 158. We are certainly racing up these Garrigan levels, aren't we? Yay, there it is. Okay. Poor things. They step forwards into a blizzard thinking, oh, it's gonna be horribly cold, and then the wind picks up and then this massive disintegrate beam just sets fire to everything. Going up against wizards must suck. Like, seriously suck. But at least this one's not exploding at them. It makes me sad, but at the same time, it just shows the versatility of the class. We went in planning to explode at everything, and we were seduced by twisting wind. They would be confused because you used to be a plumber. Ah, you'll never account to anything, Flame Spouter. Can't even do basic plumbing. Surprisingly quiet down this bit. Is it moving on? Yes, it is. Floor 4. So yeah, even losing that damage bonus from Storlax's wand, it's not really feeling like we've lost anything.
Didn't see that coming, did you?
And we are still getting the damage reduction from Aquilocurus at the key points. So as long as I'm not just like hammering every single button on the keyboard, we're gonna be fine. And certainly in the more tactical fights, like against the Rift Guardians, I wouldn't just be doing that willy-nilly anyway.
I'm so good, I astound myself.
Rift Guardian has arrived.
Oh, Saxris is really not going to stand up for long. We've got some gloves, which look like they're Tal's gloves. Pain enhancer, more blood shards, an amulet, chest armor. So, bits and pieces. Pain enhancer, of course, not something we care about for this particular build. So we'll just carry on putting in Bane of the Trapped. I think we'll probably start doing Taguk next, just because this has reached rank 30. Oh, those might... That might be Delcia's.
I am returning to Tau.
Another Halcyon's Ascent, of course. Right, well, we'll hand this in, and then let's have a chat with Kadala. So, rings!
I can't afford that.
No focus, no restraint. We can upgrade to 2, though, so we will do that. Weird Ward. Not what I was expecting. And the Convention of Elements, which is lovely, but also not what I was expecting. I mean, it plays really well with this particular class. And at the moment, we're not using the Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac. I mean, we are a little bit for Black Hole, but honestly, we're not. So if we put that in for now... This is not how I saw this going. Really isn't. Okay. So, our new build now has the Convention of Elements and Bane of the Trapped. And Taguk. Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac I'll keep down there. Halcyons will just get rid of. Let's see what the other bits we've got are. It's an ancient Halcyon's Ascent. Yeah, it's Delcia's gloves. So, Delcia's magnum opus. I mean, it would kind of lead in towards the whole energy twister combination that we've got going on, but let's salvage that up before I get tempted to do something very, very sad. Okay, so in terms of gems, we can do a little bit of upgrading. So let's pull these across. So Imperial Diamonds, that's to give us a little bit of extra survivability. All this Imperial Topazes. Can we do... No, that is the highest Topaz we can do. Alright, well, for the moment, it will do, but we have others ready to swap in. And I'm afraid that is all we're going to have time for this episode. So, things to take away. We have tested our cheat deaths, and they work in the order of Guardian, and then the Phoenix drop-off, and then Unstable Anomaly. Haven't hit Unstable Anomaly yet, but a bad run can still trigger 2, and we can carry on moving. So that's good for us. We've gone Twisted Sword, Etched Sigil combination. Seems to be working well. We've got the convention of elements. So there's a lot of fun stuff going for us. Still obviously looking for more bits of the Firebird set. As always, if you have enjoyed this, be sure to give a big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so, and you'll be told when the next episode goes live. Otherwise, I'll see you next time for another episode of Diablo 3. See you soon.